Hey guys, I'm Blossom, and today we're diving into Alexandra Rodriguez, and this is going to be a different video. We're going to actually have an honest conversation with my partner Dave because we got to take you into the lore of Alexandra Rodriguez, and not just her, but the reaction channels, because they are just as problematic. So with that being said, let's get into the video. What?
You're so smug. You know that? You're a smug person. You're a smug, arrogant person, and you need to be told that every so often.
How am I smug? I got to the
that
point.
That smile is what made you smug. Everything up into that only made you smug adjacent. Then that smile you just shot me, the shit-eating grin that I got, made you smug.
If you guys don't know,
This has been the week from hell.
He was coming. You were coming for me because you didn't think my intro was gonna be it was gonna be short and to the point.
You only changed it because I said something. I guarantee you, if I said nothing, we'd be sitting here for 17 and a half minutes.
Okay.
But hey, I'm back. I'm Dave. I've been on this channel before, right?
No.
Maybe.
Never? I don't know.
I've had to have done something. Caught me on a live stream. You did something. Well, if not, hey, what up? Just Dave here.
Yes. So if you guys don't know, Dave actually has lost how many pounds?
Over 300.
Over 300 pounds, yes.
I got hurt in Iraq, got irreparable nerve damage, bedridden for like 3 years, gained a lot of weight, and now I'm lean and mean, fighting machine once again. So I have a little bit of insight to some of these things that we'll talk about. And the other reason why I think I'm here is because the other part of this is messy, small commentary drama at its finest. And I'm very excited for it.
Yes.
Because when everyone's awful, you can just say whatever you want, pretty much. It's pretty great.
For you.
For me, that's what I do. That's why I'm here.
Well, if you guys don't know who Alexandra Rodriguez is, she is a lifestyle YouTuber, an OG YouTuber. And
how OG?
I would say maybe like 2011.
That's OG.
Yeah, like she's definitely OG. And she started her channel talking about like outfits of the day, and then she shortly started talking about losing weight, but also being comfortable in the body that you're in. And her channel wasn't called Alexandra Rodriguez. It was actually called Learning to Be Fearless. And that really, what's so funny?
Because I already know Alexandra at this point, because I've been hearing about this for a year. And yeah, I just, these names are hilarious. I love when people, they do, I want you guys to come on with your weight loss journey, but be comfortable in the body that you're in. It doesn't work.
Okay, but that also Learning to Be Fearless was also kind of pulled from Taylor Swift's, I'm sure, Fearless album.
Is she a Swiftie too?
Yeah.
Oh, this makes more sense all the time.
What?
Yeah, you buy a couple of things off that she wears. And this mic, where's the stand? Where's the stand at?
Oh.
We'll get into the stand later.
Oh my gosh, story. Yes. Okay. Anyways, so Alexandra, Learning to Be Fearless, and it was really, it symbolized, hey, like, do you live your best life? Don't be afraid to be positive in your own body. You know what I mean? Like, don't be afraid to,
accept who you are and all your flaws. If you choose to be a load, be a load.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, Alexandra says a lot of things. It uses some of the influence, and she's a little chunky.
I want to be very clear. This video is really about the reaction channels.
It is.
But in order for me to get to the reaction channels, we do have to go down a dive real quick of all the important problematic things and valid criticisms of Alex.
Because there's a lot of it.
Yeah, we can't ignore that.
Well, it would be so much easier if this is one of those cases of I hate using hate YouTubers, hate communities. I hate that term because rarely is it really accurate. But the critique commentary community that she has amassed, they have their own issues.
Yeah, and they kind of project it.
Right. And it's funny to me if this was just one of those cases where the person was completely innocent and they were just piling on, it'd be so much cleaner, so much easier. But it's not, because Alexandra, while not the the second coming of Mussolini as they try to project her as. She does have a lot of things on her track record that should be addressed by her or never addressed by her, depending on what your philosophy on dealing with this type of stuff is.
Right. Like there's certain things to where, she has a kid now, a baby now, 6-month-old, and there are things that I hear her say, oh, I'm going to talk to my baby about food positively and stuff. And I sit here and I listen. And I'm like, I don't leave mean comments. But it's just something I'm thinking. And I'm like, how can you do that if you haven't addressed your own healthy emotional eating and things like that? You know what I mean?
Parental hypocrisy.
And
It's a wonderful thing.
If you're going to do that, fine. But why do you have to tell the camera? Because then that leaves room for valid criticisms. Like, how could you? It's kind of like saying, I'm going to teach my child this, even though I completely failed at it.
Do you know what I find interesting? And I'm good with it, by the way.
Yeah.
I find it interesting that this is a common thing. And it's because I think when people, especially lifestyle YouTubers, when they continue to do their thing, they just talk how people are sometimes. And a lot of us do these type of things in reality. My mom was the walking epitome of hypocrisy. And while most parents aren't that extreme, most parents are hypocrites. We tell our kids to do stuff that we still do. And it's mostly accepted double standards.
I get what she's saying in a way. Like, okay, disclaimer, y'all. Disclaimer, we're talking about SA. We're talking about eating disorders, food, like all the
trigger warnings.
Yeah, all the bad things. Okay?
Yeah, we're here to give you the trigger warning because you got to talk to people like that now. I heard it helps if you say it high pitched. It helps the softies really get it. Trigger warning, so they know it's coming. So.
You see why I brought Dave
We're here for the softies too, the softies, the Swifties, and everyone in the middle. We got them all. We're here for them. I'm here for them. Where's your smug smile now?
Oh, gosh. Well.
I'm sorry. I just love having fun with you. This is one of those that is going to be a lot of fun just because Alexandra is a train wreck. I think we can agree on that. She is a train wreck. Right?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. So I know I watch vlogs because when I'm after work, I like to snuggle up to a cozy vlog. Or if I'm not working, if it was up to me, I will spend my whole entire day just sitting on the couch, watching vlogs, lifestyle YouTubers, and just catching up with my favorite YouTubers.
She will cocoon in blankets and do nothing but watch videos.
Yeah.
Shut the world out. Just
pretty much.
If I put snacks by her pile of blankets every so often, I know she's well fed. That's all I have to do.
It's very entertaining for me and I love it. But with that being said, that doesn't mean that I can also point out some flaws or I don't know.
Well, you have to.
Yeah.
I think that, just in nowadays, especially when you're watching content and trying to figure out what's bull crap and what's not, which has always been a thing when any type of media, by the way, you have to filter your own stuff, filter what you're taking in from these people who are selling you BS most of the time. So it's really easy to get lost in that navigation sometimes because when you like somebody, it's easy to forget that they're also garbage sometimes. And anyone that you like, remember, they have a hate group. They have people who do nothing but want to take them down. It's fantastic. It's balance.
So with that being said, let's get into the quick reasons to why people want to take Alexandra Rodriguez down.
Yeah, what's her crimes?
So her crimes. All right. Number one, we're going to start with the lap band surgery that happened when she was 16. I don't blame that on Alex at all. Even though Alex was the person that pushed her mom to do this, I blame
her.
I blame the mom.
Well,
she's a child.
Yeah, she chooses at the end of the day.
She's a child.
That's true.
She was a child.
16, though.
I don't care. She was a child. So even though I'm sure, I remember what I was like at 16. I remember saying I can make my own decisions, which she did. But I'm going to blame the mom for that more.
There's levels. Ear piercing, okay. Lap band surgery, wait till you're 18.
Especially it was either Mexico or New Mexico.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I know. Did we figure out that part yet? Is it Mexico or New Mexico?
I want to say Mexico, but I'm not sure.
If it's Mexico, that's fantastic. Come on, honey, let's go to Mexico for your lap band surgery.
It was really Alex.
Arriba! No. Like, my God, I can understand maybe go to some other places to do it, but Mexico? I don't know.
Mexico.
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 What if they clean your wounds with the water? If you can't drink it, you don't want it on your open wounds, I would guess.
Well,
No mas.
so here's the thing. She gets the lap band surgery, right? And she has to follow up. Now, I forget there's like either a band adjustment or something, but let's just simplify this and say she needed to follow up. And because she did not follow up, her band wasn't working properly according to Alex.
And that's that
according to Alex, she would be eating all she could like the night before it was open, and then like the next morning she'd be like throwing up. It was tight. It wasn't working properly. Look,
It sounds like she never got any of the. Well, no, she probably did get the proper instructions, but just didn't listen to any of it. Like it takes more discipline to lose weight with the lap band surgery than it does to do it on your own, because there's more consequences. Once you've had these surgeries, whether it's gastric or whether it's the lap band surgery, these things are messing with your internal organs.
Well, when I lived in California, I roomed with this girl and her boyfriend, right? And when the girl left to go to work, I thought the boyfriend was, I had no knowledge of his lap band surgery. And I thought he was anorexic or something, or no, bulimic. There we go. Because every time that she would leave, like an hour later or so, he was throwing up.
Huh?
So eventually I decided to just tell her, hey, I think your boyfriend's bulimic. And she goes,
awkward.
oh, he had the lap band. So what he was doing, he was eating a lot. And then,
Which you can't do.
yeah.
You can't do. It's scary.
And I'm not saying Alex was doing that, but I'm saying I just had a lap band story, honestly. But
well, at 16, look, at 16 it failed. That's what we know. She failed with it at 16, and it's probably not because she was eating broccoli. Okay, so by the way, I'll just put this out there. If I come off harsh at sometimes during the critique of especially the weight stuff, understand I went from 525 to 225, and I did it with like virtually no help. And I can't exercise. I did it with Pokemon Go and a little bit of ganj. That's about, well, a lot of bit of ganj, but that's about it, and it's, I'm not saying my way is better. I'm saying, well, yeah, I am a little bit. It's a little safer, and it definitely will it's the better way to go if you can, but not everybody can. I don't think that she ever falls into that category though. And that's why people criticize her. It's very easy to when she comes off that way. It's like, come on,
that's
just
why
walk.
you're here too, because you are honest.
Incredible.
You know what
I did it
and
all
I
on
want to
camera.
have an honest conversation.
I did it all on camera too. I was when I wanted to lose weight, when I really wanted to lose weight, you know what I did? I made a video where I took my shirt off and said, I need you guys. I had 2,500 subs at the time. I was still kind of in the wrestling community. Actually, no, that was still wrestling community. And I knew that I needed to do something different because what I was doing up to that point was not working. So I was like, all right, what else can I do? It was like 450 at that point, maybe 425. And I was like, all right, I need your guys' help. And I took off the shirt and I got great comments. And every week I did a check-in and I lost about 80 pounds doing that. So I'm not saying that's the way for everybody either, but it worked for me. And that's the point. If you're not looking for solutions, you're looking for a way out. So, and Alexandra comes off as somebody who looks for way outs more than she does solutions sometimes. So that's going to be a lot of the criticism that she gets. But it doesn't mean it's all justified.
No, it's not. And I would say the second criticism is, and this was the huge one that made her lose a lot of following, a lot of people just lost trust in her, and that was when she got the lower bottom of her stomach removed, but then when asked about it, said that she did it due to exercise, Weight Watchers, etc. Whatever excuses she used, but she wasn't honest, which is my point. And so a lot of people felt like the reaction channels, Jesus, they will bring up one incident of a girl that they know, a child who allegedly, followed Alex, had the same body as Alex, and was wondering, well, how come, my body isn't doing what Alex's body did? And then this led to this girl apparently going into a mental health facility, just struggling mentally and doing, just severely mental problems.
So somebody with mental problems is dumping everything on Alexandra, essentially. fantastic.
It's just a horrible precedent.
It's a terrible precedent to
You know
set.
what I mean? Because if you have a child that plays video games,
Right.
and I'm sure these video games are going to be used with weapons,
Right.
you don't expect them to then go somewhere and then use those weapons on people. You know what I
Even
mean?
with the uptick in violence in our country, and Lord knows there has been one, it still does not compare to what would happen if anything about these stupid allegations about being influenced by guns and video games and that in movies. We'd almost all, by that logic, we'd almost all be killers at this point.
Yeah.
And we're not. And that's, if anything, most of us, normal ones of us at least, are aware. And we know that, like, that's fake. This is real.
Right.
And that's important to come across sometimes.
Yeah. So I always say, and this is my favorite one, is I just always say parents, it's really the parents.
The parents got to be involved.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, with this FUPA situation, was she sponsored by Weight Watchers?
No, but honestly, I thought that she was, though, because let me tell you, she was trying to be, because when I went down memory lane and I watched every single video of all the reaction channels, I mean, we're 10 months later, y'all, and she had 1,000,001 videos of Weight Watchers. And I even thought, let me see if I can try to find a code.
Right.
Let me see if I could try to find, I could not find a damn thing.
Because they know better.
Not even. I truly believe this was her auditioning to be a Weight Watchers sponsor.
And they were like, nope.
Because it made no sense. Like the amount of, yes, you love, these companies, but she was on a roll as if this was her mission. It was a goal of hers. You could tell it was on her vision board to be sponsored by Weight Watchers.
Now, Weight Watchers is not above anything like this. I mean, like, I don't think any of us believe that any celebrity who's ever endorsed, including Oprah, I believe, did Weight Watchers for years and years and years. I don't think any of us believe that they didn't get a little bit of help, a little nip tuck somewhere. I think we all can pretty much reasonably, if we had that type of money, we'd all be doing a little bit of assistance.
Right.
However, when it's YouTubers and influencers, it's a different story, because it is you get a little bit more juice out of them because they are connecting on a different level because they're everyday content. You are talking all the time. So when you cut something off and use that as a reason, like, hey, I've lost all this weight, and it's not true, that's fraud if you're sponsored. And like that creates a whole nother problem. But if you're not sponsored, you're just kind of showing who you are. But that's the thing about Alexandra. You don't have to look too hard. She's not the one to be taking weight advice from. If you are, you're going to get what you get. The results you're going to get are from the teacher that you're getting the instructions from sometimes.
And the issue with that is when being called out for it, she got in a car and then blamed her management team.
Yeah.
And was like, I didn't even want to write that, my management team. And then she used
She's just another YouTuber.
She used the terminology, like, I feel forced to eat. When she did an interview about this whole scandal, because she received so much backlash, she was like, I feel forced to coming out and saying this because I felt forced. And it's like,
oh, yeah,
lady, you lied. You didn't take accountability, and when you did, you blamed your management team and said, they told me to say this. And then when being interviewed about your backlash, it's like, if you're going to take accountability, and this is kind of the theme for her, anytime that she takes accountability, it's for half of a second of a video, and it's back to normal. Okay, so anyways,
I did it.
Yeah, okay, no. And it's like, no. You need to swim in that. Go underwater and swim in that accountability. It needs to be just that video, because you built your audience on this, on people believing you, on people following your weight loss journey. So because she did have a lot of weight loss journeys, and so that I would have to say that's just the core, is that she doesn't know how to take accountability.
That's a big one too. And that's, you're gonna hear me say just another YouTuber a lot, because a lot of these are check marks down the YouTube douchebag checklist.
No, but for you and me, though, I want to be very clear. So far of what I'm talking about, that doesn't deter me from sitting still in the bed, cozy out with some blankets, and watch, because that It doesn't bother me.
It doesn't have to.
Like, I will state, like, because I do social media, yes, I will go online on the socials and state my opinions about a video that comes my way, right? Or, oh, I'm not listening to this podcast anymore because they did this, okay? But then I keep it moving. Yeah. Then that's it. You know what I mean? And
she hasn't chopped any heads off, right?
No.
You know what I mean? Like, if you can't have any accountability, that is going to become very apparent very quickly.
Yeah.
You know, to a lot of people. So
then she had, you know, she did have like a chin lipo. The chin came back. She also had now the gastric bypass. Now I want to say with the gastric bypass, I actually did in these 10 months my own research on the gastric bypass. Because I really went to apply for it, to seek for it, just because I wanted education on, you know, I watched the videos that Alex was telling people, like, after the fact, that what she was eating and all this, because I didn't want, when you hear reaction channels and they tell you need to watch all of our videos, okay, but are you right? Are you accurate? But I actually went to the doctor. So anyways, let me rewind a little bit. So the other criticism that Alex received is her gastric bypass surgery. She lost weight in the beginning, but she gained a lot of the weight back. Alex tells us that she did lose 100 pounds. I'm one of those people where they're like, she gained it all back. I don't know.
Oh, can I go back real quick?
Yeah.
Because there was a point I wanted to make earlier, and I just remember what it was.
Yeah.
Whenever a YouTuber makes an apology, and that apology exists in another video, like that, it's not its own video. It's like you're apologizing, then getting right into their own thing. That's a huge red flag. It's a huge red flag because you don't mean it. Apology should never be a yeah, but. It should never be an afterthought. Not in a video. Like, if you're going to apologize and try to take accountability for something, it should never be in a video for. And now we're getting into swimwear. No, it just doesn't work. It comes off as very fraudulent. Or it should never
be deleted, Danielle Carolyn.
Yeah.
Anyways, it should never. Yeah, it should never be deleted.
Some coffee at the camera?
I'm just saying, it should never be. If you're going to apologize for racism, keep the video up. Keep the apology up. Anyways,
forever?
We'll keep it going.
Yeah, are you a forever? You want that, like?
It just feels like you're trying to hide something that you were never. Right. Now off of Danielle, but back to the.
Do you have to have it pinned?
No.
Okay, so you don't have to scarlet
the
letter
whole thing is deleted.
Right? No, you can't delete.
Yeah.
It. Yeah. No, I agree with that, but I'm just saying. Like, sometimes it's just fascinating to see what type of things people look for when they're looking for accountability. Because some people look for things that people did or said 20, 30 years ago. Have they mentioned that lately? You know what I mean? It's like, so sometimes.
Yeah, it's not that, like, I noticed it. It's just that it popped up and I was like, oh, wait. It just comes off when you delete it. No one's looking for it. Well, I guess people were, right?
Yeah.
But.
This is the internet now.
I know.
Whew. If you've tweeted something or posted something, it's probably been screenshotted or downloaded.
But to bring it back here, she had gastric bypass, right? And she didn't lose a lot of the weight permanently like she'd wanted to. But the real issue is that she was telling people, and I can confidently say this, lying to people. Yeah. Guys, yes, it's okay to have my Diet Coke, my carbonated drink. And let me tell you right now, I went for gastric bypass. I went to apply for it, a consult. Well, did more than that, but
hey, you went down the path.
Yes. Because I was very interested and I went through it as a plus sized person. I immediately walked into the surgeon's office and he was like, you are what you eat. And mind you, at the time I was also taking a nutrition class unrelated, but it was for my program. And
you were also being told by me you didn't need gastric at all. I was trying not to be harsh to her, but it's like, I kind of like, I take moral victories in knowing that you were told the exact same things I told you by every professional that you saw after the fact.
Anyways, so let me put it this way. My primary care physician didn't even want to send me the recommendation, but she knew I was going to change her if she didn't. So
this one's persistent. You will she'll get, look, if you don't give her what she wants, she might cut you. You might get a new doctor. Like,
so she knew that. So because she was like giving me a million, like, look, it's 20 pounds and you could like she was going through, and I said, I want my recommendation.
I'm sitting there like trying to get her to walk and stuff with me in the mornings and everything. She's like, I need the recommendation. I'm like, oh.
Oh, the referral. There
the
we
referral.
Go. Yeah.
Give me the referral. I'm going to get this referral. I'm like, okay. She's like, because you're not that big. You weren't that big. It was
All
like,
right.
it was
Well,
funny.
anyways. So I got my referral, and I went in. But get this, when I went in, the surgeon treated me like I was 800 pounds. I kid you not.
Oh, those butchers don't care.
This man, I walked in, and he goes, so I see you were here for bypass surgery. And he goes, what are you eating? And I'm like, food? Like, no. He was like, do you eat a lot of fast food? And I was like, well, you know.
Yes.
He goes, so my whole point of mentioning this, guys, he goes, you are what you eat. What I mean by that, because he's like, people get mad. Processed foods gotta go.
Gotta go.
Anything processed has got to go. You need to learn how to make cooking with your family as
An experience.
as part of your lifestyle. Yep. And so he went through like a 30-minute talk of how it's important that you have to change up your, and he told me not to work, and the nutritionist also told me not to work overnights anymore, but
yeah, it's just
they told me that it's
their
anyways.
shift is brutal.
Yeah,
it's brutal,
but
she does it permanently.
Yeah.
And she does doubles. No, God.
Yeah. But
you're a machine.
What I learned, so my second appointment with the nutritionist, and I'm getting somewhere, y'all. She gives me these cups, these size cups, because I'm approved for the surgery, by the way, guys. So they approve me, and the
butcher will always
you
approve
can,
you.
Which, mind you can lie to a psychologist.
Surgeons don't care.
You could lie to a psychologist, but you have to you either do the sleep study, you got to do a heart thing, you got to see a psychologist. And by the way, all these things are like pretty much, yes, that it's money, but also I feel like it's so easy to lie to get approved.
Oh, you can get around it.
Yeah.
Because once you get to the surgeon will like, I'll get you on the table right now. Well,
yeah.
He's sharpening knives. He doesn't care. The butchers, they'll do whatever.
Yeah, but it started to become real when it was my last appointment with the nutritionist, and she had these cups, and she showed me. I was like, wait, what? She's like, per meal. I was like,
per meal.
What?
Yep.
And then she was saying how literally they're cutting you, like cutting a part of your organ.
Yep.
But anyway, she goes, you can't have carbonated anything because it will spread out your whole it will ruin your surgery.
Yes, it will.
And I even talked to her even about Alexandra. Like and she's like, do not listen to anyone on the internet.
No.
What you're doing right here, coming here, talking to the surgeons, talking to doctors, talking to registered dietitians, talking to people who this is their profession, that's where you need to be listening to. And so I could say if Alex says that her doctor gave her the approval to drink carbonated drinks after her surgery, because I saw a video in which she admitted to that, I said, either that doctor needs a visit to the board,
right,
or you're lying.
I'm going to go with option B, Alex. She's a liar. But reasonable lies. Like, that's, to me, she wants to lie about that stuff. She can. She
was like, my doctor says it's okay. What do you mean? Like, they told me absolutely not.
No, of course not. And most people, look, I think this is one of those that did not get by too many people. It doesn't pass the logic test at all. If you know that your stomach is smaller and you know what carbonated beverages do, they produce those little bubbles. That's why I go.
And she was drinking this earlier on after her surgery. And I said, that's a huge ruin because all it did was spread out.
Did she have the surgery?
Yes.
Like, do we know this for a fact?
I believe she did, yeah.
Like
we saw her in the hospital and things like that.
Scars. Have we seen scars? Have we seen
I haven't seen scars, but I'm going to believe she had the surgery.
Because, like, if she did.
Because she did lose a lot of weight after
really
that.
Put herself.
She did.
Oh, well, that's fair enough.
She lost like 100 pounds.
That's
after
good.
That, yeah.
She put herself at real bad risk doing that. So if doctors did give her that. And she's in California, right?
No, she's. Hey,
she's on this side. Yes, please.
Yes.
I'm
okay,
stupid.
can we?
I'm
okay, so
I'm an idiot.
Oh my gosh, I found Alex because she's in our area.
Yeah.
And so
I don't know why I just said California.
Yeah. So long story short, I was just bored one day and I wanted to find plus size. I felt like I was following too many skinny people. I felt like, can I follow people that look like me? You know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to follow people that I'm able to, if they offer a clothing of some sort, oh, I could buy that. You know, oh, that will look good on me too. So that's what I really wanted to do. And so I just typed in plus sized YouTubers and she came up.
Voluptuous.
Yeah, in the area. So anyways.
That's how you found it. You never heard of her before that?
Nope.
Yeah, that's another thing too. It's funny how big some of these people are that don't exist to anybody outside of that bubble. You know, like the internet is so vast. It's like space. It is. You know what? The internet is like space. It's expanding infinity. It's nothingness, expanding nothingness, infinite expanding nothingness. Because we can always get another hard drive.
Oh gosh, I know, it's funny. I went years without watching this girl, but. Anyways, so we could say that she lies. And I would say the last huge... And then they say that she lies about her size as well. So, and the filtering. And so, you know, when you're selling a product, especially if you go on Instagram stories and you filter yourself, but you want people to buy the product and you leave either a reward style link or an Amazon affiliate link, one of those links, and it comes off as fraudulent.
It does. But I think a lot of people do it. And
so many people do it.
And it's very smellable.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. For me, the reason why I don't care a lot about this is because the only currency that you really have on the internet is your likability, your popularity. That's your currency. And once you're not cool enough, people will leave and you will go bankrupt. And that's what happens to a lot of people. Or they'll find their niches and they stay within that and they know they can't grow outside of it, or because they won't be able to survive because of who they are or whatever the things they do, or they can't get any smaller because they'll lose their lifestyle. So they find their pockets. And she may have done that very simply because most of her lies are easily noticeable and not really that big of a deal.
Yeah. And I would say the biggest one, now this is where the essay comes in.
Ugh.
It's on the internet. Because we really want to get to the reaction channels.
Yes.
Because we're saying, like, these are valid criticisms.
Right.
Like,
but the juice doesn't always facilitate the squeeze. Doesn't matter how sweet that juice might taste. Sometimes just leave the berry on the bush. I pulled that out, man. I wasn't exactly sure I was going to go with that analogy, but I kind of made it work there. Look at me. I'm a linguist.
let's give Dave some props.
I want my flowers.
But the icing on the cake is her father.
Yep.
So her dad essayed his stepdaughter, her stepsister, 9 times.
It's a lot of times.
9 times. And her dad pleaded no contest, but still went to prison for this.
Yes, he did. So no contest did him no good.
And when it was time for Alex to write a letter to the judge, she advocated for her dad.
Right.
But also when her dad got out, he violated and actually tried to go look for this person. And then Alex had to write the dad another letter advocating for him.
Now, this is the big one. This is
Yeah.
where people really hit her in the most. And not only do they hit her, they hit pretty much anybody who disagrees with them on this in the same category sometimes, which we'll talk about later. But this is the big one, right?
Yeah, because, you know, this man, and mind you, this man was apparently, according to what you read, because it's already information that's just unfortunately out there.
Right.
You know, because honestly, we shouldn't have known this. And this is why I felt uncomfortable talking about this, because we're talking about someone else who probably didn't want their business out here like this on a podcast.
But
Or,
you can already hear people going, public information!
Yeah.
Public information! You can already hear it. And that's fine. And it is true. It is
Yeah.
public information. But, Jesus, does that mean that you want every one of your family members' garbage strewn all over the internet just because you get a certain size that allows you to be criticizable? That's craziness. It's a witch hunt. And it doesn't excuse any of the actions. But you have to put everything under a microscope now?
Right.
I mean, look, and at the risk of pissing people off, at the end of the day, that's a daughter who decided to write a letter for her father. And as dumb as it might have been, and maybe short-sighted or whatever reason she may have for doing it, we'll never know. But that's the point. We'll never know. It probably should have stayed private, because I just don't know if this is the one to be standing on. You're standing on a lot of virtue.
I can understand
here.
if she went on her platform and was like, I defend my, that's different.
Arm around him, that
Yeah,
type of thing.
yeah.
Bring him, hey, this is my PDF file father, and I thought he'd be a great third host on the show. That would definitely be a problem. I mean, that's undefensible, but that doesn't seem to be what she's doing. This has been a very private
No,
matter
this has
that
been a
got
private
brought
matter
public.
that brought because people were so upset at her for gaining weight and being a liar and all the other criticisms we listed that, you
So
know.
let's see what we can use to destroy
Oh,
her.
she called her. Her and her mom at one point had a podcast. I think it was called like the Fearless Podcast or something, and they were talking about a show. I think it was maybe The Bachelorette or whatever, and they called a couple of girls. Oh, these are whores. They were reacting to a show.
Who was?
But they will use that. They will use that. Be like, we could say this about her because she called these two girls this one time on their podcast a long time ago with her mom. Oh,
Yeah, she can. I'm okay with any of the name calling. It's called mudslinging. It's okay. It's part of the internet.
yeah, but they go to the extreme
They do.
over like something so minute. Like they were talking about a reality show. These people probably put on a show just so they could be called just that. Anyways,
And you know why? It's because what do they have that's so big? That's why they're making such a big deal over the thing with the father is because everything else is so minute. Even the fupa, even the gastric, these things, yeah, they're criticized, but again, they're also verifiable. You can make your own decisions. It's not something that has to be harped on, and most people will tune it out. But the essay, well, not only is that, you know, is that going to get everybody's attention, especially because of Kendrick Lamar now, Jay's, and now everyone's looking for people. Then now you're looking at the aspect of milking that because it's very clickable, it's very monetizable, it's very you can virtue signal. You're now a hunter of these people. Now you're trying to protect. It's all this wonderful horse crap that people can use to try and build communities, and that's exactly what we've seen.
yeah, and that's why I think we should start talking about now these communities.
The byproduct of these events, and let's see if any of it is actually warranting some of the hate that she has received. And by the way, all the criticism and hate, welcome it. It's when it becomes all you do.
Bun execution wasn't the best. You know what, to be honest, I don't care enough to fix it. I'm about to do something far more embarrassing right now in the vlog, so come along. Guys, I really like it.
Oh my god, that disgusting face. Oh. Oh. Oh gosh, she's oh, poor Yarman. Oh, the face. This face. The face she made when she was getting that out of the fridge is just so greedy and gross. It's so greedy and gross and disgusting. It's so piggish. Oh, gosh, and greedy. Ew.
Good morning, you guys. It is 7:30. I have a doctor's appointment at 8:30, and I'm questioning why I made it so early. I must have had a lapse in judgment when I was making this appointment, but I'm super.
What do you mean a lapse in judgment? You mean you forgot that you're lazy as all get out? Is that what you forgot? Is that what your lapse in judgment was? Please. You're lazy. You're tired. You just want to go back to bed. But, you'll probably have breakfast first, won't you? 'Cause the baby wants it, right?
Here's the new tripod. But yeah, look at. It's huge. It's absolutely massive. But then you can just handheld it too. So for my fellow content creators, I will link it. But honestly, anyone who is doing TikTok.
We don't need you to link it. Do you think that none of us own a damn tripod? out here. And if we're content creators, don't you think that, we have our own quality one that we like? We don't need you to link it. Thanks.
As you're going to find out through the course of this show that you're going to be watching, this is the mic stand in question. And what's even funnier about it, I was today years old when I found out that this was even an Alexandra Rodriguez influenced product. What's even funnier is I stole it from Blossom because I love the damn thing so much. But look at it. This thing's like incredible. It's awesome. How can you not like this? It can go on your desk. It's unbelievable. It folds up all the way, goes all the way up. It's sturdy. It's awesome. This is one of the greatest stands I've ever used.
I know.
And I had no clue that Miss Alexandra Rodriguez.
I know. I was looking for a tripod and another one that was great. I mean, this is amazing.
What's the price on this?
I don't know, like maybe 30.
I was gonna say it feels
30?
like if it's any more than 35, it'd be too much. But if it's below 30ish, it's perfect.
This was more. This cost.
That's a different level.
Okay, we're missing the point.
Hundreds of dollars.
We're missing the point. We're missing the point. This was still good. Yeah.
No, it does different jobs. Jesus, that camera weighs like 32 pounds.
That's true.
This is perfect for this type of camera. Which, by the way, ball of camera. I love this. These are standard.
Anyways, the whole point is that, yes, even people who have been recording content creation people still look for better tripods.
I'm a live streamer, and this actually solved my solution. That's why I stole it, because I have an elevating desk.
Yeah.
Dad Blossom got me, because she's awesome. And it's so cool because I couldn't get it to work, and now I put it on there, and bam, it just goes up with it, and it solved my problem. Thank you, Alexandra Rodriguez.
We're good.
Great. I'm all for it. I love long form content. Like, it's all fun and fresh to like do a little.
Yeah, fuck off. You are a bitch. I can't believe you just said that. That is so fucking insensitive. Oh, I'm all for it. I'm not getting fucked over. I'm gonna still get my bag. So, cool. It's fine. Awesome. Are you kidding, Alexandra? You are a fucked up person. You seriously are. Wow.
Really scroll, before bed or something, even though you shouldn't. But like, I love long form content. Like, YouTube will always.
You love your fucking paycheck, bitch. That's what you love. You love your paycheck every month. You wouldn't be singing this song if you were making your bag on TikTok, bitch. You'd be crying your fucking eyes out. You would be devastated. There are people that are absolutely devastated right here in this moment that you're singing your bullshit. Do you know how fucking insensitive that is? You don't give a fuck about anybody but yourself. You sick, sick person. You are an absolute demon. You are a demon.
Wednesday afternoon.
Raining.
At 1 o'clock when it's downpouring.
There's traffic. There's a lot of traffic.
Newport in the summer is no joke. It really is no joke, even on a rainy weekday. So we try to come in the off season, spring. We try to come in the spring and the fall. So, but we had fun. We killed some time looking at the cars. The farmers market's supposed to start like very soon, but we don't have an umbrella.
But again, Alex, go back in the video. You're the one that said it, not me. You love the rain. So get your fat ass out in it. Ms. I love the rain. You are sickening. Absolutely 110% sickening to me.
We had a really good first night at home with him. Yar was incredible. He took most of the night shift. And
of course he did. I can already see that you love handing that baby over. That's just really weird. You need to bond with your baby. Girl, you're kind of dropping the ball already in my eyes.
Let me sleep. So that was good, and feeling a little bit more alive today. Those few days in the hospital, I think we slept a total of like 5 hours. But we're home. We made it, and
Yeah, we got no footage. Absolutely no footage of those 3 days in the hospital. Y'all don't find that a little weird? I mean, she's got to tell us everything. Why didn't we vlog any of those days, Alexandra? Maybe because you weren't really at the hospital, were you? Because you didn't really give birth. It's becoming quite obvious.
my epidural didn't leave any uncomfortableness, discomfort. So
Get your hands off of
That
yourself.
was one of my concerns. Some people told me they had like, some issues with their epidural, but none.
Is it because Yara doesn't touch you? Is that why you're constantly feeling yourself up? Are you lacking touch? That's a problem. And you guys should really figure that out.
Let's start with creating a channel. Whether they're talking about a couple more people now in their channels, creating a channel based off of one person.
Right.
That is so problematic because, and even I've been accused of talking too much about one person on my channel. Yeah. And it just, I can never fathom creating a channel to talk about one person, because what that does is, one, eventually you get so bored to the point to where you have to reach
for everything.
Yes.
For everything.
You have to stretch out anything you can. You have to drama it up. You have to say anything necessary to keep your audience, or you're going to sound boring.
And that's okay if it's in the entertainment aspect. If you're just trumping up things to just to get petty drama, that's okay in my book.
But they all have this disclaimer of, and it's a BS disclaimer. It's all just so they don't get their channels taken down. But it's a disclaimer of, guys, anything we say is for entertainment purposes only. Please don't leave hate on Alex's channel. Always leave, your comments here. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, because that's exactly what's going to happen, y'all. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Let me ask you this question, because I always find it fascinating, since we brought up like channel creations about people. See, I was a daily commentary live streamer for a long time. And one of the things that we hit on was like the Onision days, 2016. And this is very relevant because part of the criticism is people creating entire channels based around just criticizing Onision, who is one of the most criticizable and critiquable scumbags that's ever walked the internet. It still doesn't make sense to just make a channel of hate just towards them 24/7.
Right.
Because you get lost in your point because you can only do so much. So it's,
or you do a series and then you stop it.
So how many videos is acceptable? Because this answer is going to, and my point is the answer itself. It doesn't matter what the number is. It's a subjective number. But it's going to start feeling within reason. If you get into the umpteens, you might be doing too much. If this person is messed up umpteen times, you made umpteen different videos on those umpteen things that are all umpteenthable, then okay. But most of the time it's not. Let's face it. Like, I feel weird doing more than 3 or 4 shows on a subject. I feel you lose your audience. But that's
right.
me.
And I feel like,
or you create a
now
different
there's different
audience.
people like Amberlynn Reed,
Right,
who literally, I saw a clip of her saying, I don't like to use music in my videos so the reaction channels can react to me. You know what I mean? So there's people who really want this, and that's a good symbiotic relationship there.
Sure.
So
parasitical.
have at it, But then, anyway, so the reaction channels, they create a lot of their channels based off of this one person, or even 3 people. I still say is still ridiculous to me. I don't think you should create your channel based off of even 3 people. I think it should just be a niche, okay, fine, but it just comes off as harassment. It's
a little bit easier when it's 3 people. I'll say that. I'm like, it still feels weird, especially depending, because but at least there's variety there. At least there's something. I can. It's a step. If it's a step up, I won't put them in the exact same category, but I'll say it's a category 1A. It's right there, but.
And on the next video, we are focusing purely on the reaction channels, part 2. You're referring to would be the top 2, I would say, would have to be Priscilla P.
Priscilla P. D'Olse.
Priscilla P. And then we have Nella from I'm Just Reacting.
Hello my lovelies. As you guys know, my channel was taken down, but that's okay. I've got a new one and it's up. They're not getting rid of me that easily, that's for bloody sure. I told you I won't be going anywhere until Alex gets off.
But you can go ahead and try to convince us that this man of color over here that don't even want to be seen with your ass slathered some lotion on you.
You don't get to control what a young mother on YouTube does. Do you want to fucking make a bet? Do you want to make a bet? Make a bet, Venus Main? Hey, baby reindeer, you want to make a bet we don't control? We control a lot of who and what people send Alex. We do control a lot of it. So sit on that and fucking rotate.